Hello, beautiful Scorpio. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your April 2018 Soul Tarot reading. I'm so thrilled that it's spring, at least in this hemisphere. I know it's been a hard winter for a lot of people, and I got up this morning and went outside, and the birds were chirping. I was thrilled. I am channeling messages from my spirit guides. For those of you who are new, welcome. It's great to meet all the folks who stumble upon this channel. And for all the returning viewers and subscribers, welcome back. Last month was an incredibly beautiful reading, and we have a continuation of that. I will go through both months' readings. We'll start with March as a refresher, and then we'll go on to the cards for April. Just a reminder, actually, let me toggle over and say hello. Hi, everybody. Just a reminder, my website is up. I'm very excited about it. It's working really well. If you want a reading of any kind, distance healing, medium services, and if you want to join the live stream community, all of that can be done from the website. There is now a little click toggle on the landing picture for my homepage. So if you want to go straight there, you can. The website is moonrisecottagesoultarot.com. The link will be below this video in the description box. So I'm going to toggle back to the picture of that butterfly and tell you a little story, and then we'll jump into your cards. That beautiful butterfly flew into my house, sandwiched in between two raging nor'easters, they call them here in this part of the United States. Huge storms. There was one day when I went out on the deck, all of a sudden the sun came out. It was 50 degrees. You know, it had been 19 degrees, 15 degrees below zero at night. For whatever reason, the jet stream and all that things that brings weather across the country, we had a moment of reprieve. And I went outside, put a chair out on my little deck, and just sat there, breathing in the warm weather and the sunshine. When I came back in the house, I had a visitor. And this beautiful butterfly, who knows? I think it was the 2nd of March when she arrived here. That is a female black swallowtail butterfly. I've had a lot of what I consider to be mystical experiences since I started building this house almost 20 years ago. Nature seems to arrive here to bring messages. That's how I take it, anyways. And so in this moment, while the cards have been coming out since the winter solstice, and Spirit's talking about between then and now, because we've just come past the spring equinox, we are being visited as a confirmation, I believe, by the notation of butterfly medicine. I did a live stream. I chopped some of it off. It was really long. But you can look at the center section of that reading if you want to learn a little bit about that and hear some chatter. So I explored the notion of the butterfly medicine. I did a card reading and I pulled a rune. So that's there on the playlist for March if you want to see that. Last month, for all the signs, and as I started to say, coming through the year past the solstice, there's been messaging coming through that has shifted in a very profound way, impactful, Spirit says, from last year when we were delving deep and rooting things out and working really hard, all of us individually and together, weaving this tapestry, exploring the notion of yin and yang, male and female balance within us and between all of us. And the message started to change. Talking about we're settling in. We're finishing the last of that work from last year, and we are beginning to emerge and evolve and prepare for the active phase of 2018, which begins in April. In the middle of that period of time arrives in a very, mysterious, if not mystical, sandwiched between the snowstorms, this beautiful butterfly. How she got here, I have no idea. It was still viciously cold here. I'm assuming maybe she came on the wind. I don't know. She lived in my house with me for a couple of weeks until I felt as though I wanted to transmit whatever messages might be coming. So here are the cards for March. Let's take a quick look. We see the first card is the Liberator of Devotion. And in light of the arrival of this butterfly, Spirit wants me to talk with you about the the right hand column of cards. We see the Spinner of Growth, standing in the winds of change, sending out seeds for new growth, and being able to access the portal that is necessary for souls in order to Spirit. It's interesting. Spirit's talking about transmission. Your spirit journey, traveling between this realm on earth and the spirit realm. And because of the yin-yang energy, rising from the human walk through the portal into this beautiful place of the perfecter of energy. The top row of cards, from left to right, indicate the spirit walk that you were on. And, now that the butterfly arrived here and all these things have happened, I understand it in a way that's really deep for me. The will to go forward, the decider of will, the first card on the left is the first major arcana in the deck. It's beautiful male energy. The will to go forward, the impetus, the drive, if you will, and being delivered and looking directly into the sacred high priestess, who is the guardian of the gateway of shift and change and transition into the sacred realm. The two of them standing together, looking directly at each other, the flow of energy that is inherent in the beautiful perfecter. And I'm going to toggle over and show you the card, because this is in your reading again this month. It's interesting to me. And actually, it's in your reading in the very same position. A very deep, profound shift has taken place. We were talking a lot, and I apologize, I meant to put a video on the playlist. I just added it this morning. That is the sacred swastika. The swirl of energy through the seasons in order to bring your destiny and a certain type of awakening at the crown chakra, the pineal gland Spirit's talking about, and there's the triple spiral at the root chakra. That is a ceremonial bowl, the perfecter of energy. Let's talk about it. Based on the journey that you were having in March and the outcome card, which was about sacred dialogue. So on the far left column, we see the King of Art on the bottom, the Pathfinder. The King of Art is a very highly creative male energy. There's a lot of passion in that card. He is a Pathfinder, and he also has the ability to remove obstacles. The card above that is the Goddess of Sovereignty. And she has the ability to understand how things will unfold in the future and what the lineage will be of kings. And she actually was performing that gift for the King of Art. So to have them show up here in this way, it's astounding. And if we look at the center row, we see the adventure, the winds of change, and you facing that very eagerly to go on this journey. So let's take a look now at what is happening in April. So just look into those cards just for a moment. Understand, okay, Spirit's nudging me. So Spirit is giving you this message. So look at the cards. Think about that image, given the message that came out last month. And now look at the cards for April. And Spirit's saying, and you will see the message. The sacred dialogue that was the outcome card in the month of March is now the transition card that connects your human walk to your spirit journey. And if you just look at the illustrations, you know you're going far. And a great transformation has taken place and continues to take place. The very first card, the spirit card that lays over the top of the reading, is the Sacred Mother. And last month, I'm going to toggle back again, take a look at the card that was in that position. That is the Liberator of Devotion. It is about going through the portal. And this month, we see an indication that you have made that transition. You have evolved. You have emerged from the cocoon that all beings, Spirit says, have been in. Here's the card. Okay, so Spirit's talking about this is the next logical step. This is a major arcana card. Again, the Spirit light and theme for the reading. This is the shaper of growth. Aligned with the Sacred Mother, who shepherds souls across the portal and bringing with them all the gifts that they will need in order to have their human experience while their souls adventure on the other side of the veil, Spirit says. All right, so that theme, standing over the top, gifts coming with the transformation and the emerging from the human cocoon. The very next card, dialogue again. There are 3 dialogue cards in this reading. Spirit is obviously, right, wanting to speak with you and wanting you to engage in dialogue as well with yourself and with the trusted others around you. And Spirit's talking about telepathic communication. And okay, so it's another word for prayer in a sense. But have some dialogue this month. We'll go through how the dialogue cards are aligned. So this is you in this moment. A sacred dialogue about battle. Reaching a pinnacle and being in direct communication, if you will, with the sacred realm. If you look at the Eagle Medicine card and look into what that information is about, what eagle means from the traditional peoples and the tribes that brought forward that information. You know, eagle has sacred vision. It soars effortlessly, high above, and it can see with a huge amount of clarity a wide spectrum. And you have reached this point because of the emerging and evolving that has happened and the announcement, Spirit saying, the announcement of the butterfly. So, the first card on the human realm, let's look at last month, okay? There is Luke, the sacred spear, the pathfinder, who clears away obstacles for your journey. It's beautiful. And here's April. Look at that, Scorpio. Wow. That is a prophecy card. That is the augury of knowledge. It is about a form of transition, a form of actuation, a form of activation, if you will. I love that this is here. What this beautiful woman is doing is touching the stone of kings. That is the Leofale stone that exists in Newgrange. And I'm going to actually have that, I think I still have that picture loaded up. Here you go. That's what she's doing. She's standing in this place in the light of the moon. In the spiritual realm, Spirit says, and she has come to a moment of destiny. She is able to receive information and shine it like the light of the moon onto the earth. Her garment is blue. She has been completely transformed. And it is her moment to take the destiny that comes to her because of the transformation that she has gone through, emerging into a new form. It's particularly stunning to me. And here's the card. Let me show you the card. You see that? The all-seeing eye? The information coming in, the light, through the, Spirit's calling it seasons, through the cycles of the moon. And we are today's the 28th of March, so just a couple days off from the second full moon of the month. The beginning of knowledge. A prophecy about your transition into the realm of sacred knowing, standing here in this realm. It's really beautiful. The very next step, another dialogue. And I love that Spirit chose this card for you. This dialogue is the dialogue of knowledge. It is the very next card in the suit of knowledge in this deck. All right, so let's see. There's the card. You've probably heard me talk about it. I'm going to tell you the little story. But here's, there they are. You are on a very highly defined journey. And Spirit's been chattering through me, and I've been promising, coming into 2018, we're going to be on a new journey. It's going to be really deep. That's why Spirit was talking so much about weaving a tapestry and the yin and yang, the arrangement of the energy in order to bring us out of our slumber, of our cocoon, to fulfill the destiny that is meant for us. And Scorpio, as one of the signs that goes really deep, this indication, I'm very gratified to see that here. So, step one, step two, all right? First, you make the transition. Sorry, it's always backwards. First, you emerge and you touch the stone of wisdom, having had your transformation. And the wisdom is transmitted into you, and you are able to shine that onto the planet, into your life, emitting from your set point out. It's very exciting. And then this next card, it's about don't worry about it, because that seems really overwhelming, doesn't it? So this young guy was in a sacred lineage. And all right, so Spirit's talking a lot. I'm just going to follow that lead, okay? So Spirit wants me to remind you. Let me just go to March for a second. Do you see the King of Luke? There he is, clearing away the obstacles. Above him is the goddess of sovereignty, the sacred shamaness, the seer, who was able to predict his lineage. And so with this coming now in April in this way, with the obstacle cleared away, there you stand. Transformation, emergence. You've come forward in the way that was predicted. Having come forward in this way, it can be a little overwhelming. So this young man was part of a sacred lineage of the wisdom holders of the clan, of the tribe. He was out adventuring in the world, learning about himself. His father was the wisdom holder. His dad passed away. And he was called home to take up the chair because he was next in line. And he was frightened because he didn't feel ready and didn't really want to go. He knew what was going to happen when he got there. So he thought, I have to disguise myself because I'm just going to be laughed out of, I'm going to be the laughing stock because I'm not ready. So he put on this silly fake beard. That's what that's all about. And tried to disguise himself to look older. When he got there, one of the dear friend of his dad, also a wisdom holder, came to see him. And you see the turning of destiny? That's what this card is about. The turning of destiny. And the sacred dialogue that is needed in order to take the next steps. The dialogue about knowledge. And that's what Spirit wants to talk about. Really clear that you've had these incredible battles. A butterfly flies across the United States somehow through, vicious, Spirit saying vicious, and they were vicious snowstorms, and arrives in a mystical way into a place where there's no way that it should have survived I don't know how it happened. It's a mystery. So Spirit's talking about this is the dialogue, about the mystery, about evolution and emerging kind of no matter what, because it's destiny, okay? So, Spirit just keeps saying, let's just talk about it. Talk with me about it. The conversation ensued. This young man finally sort of acknowledged that he was frightened and he didn't know how to go forward and he wasn't ready and he felt unworthy because of all of that. And this elder gentleman said, well, okay. The young man said, can you please come and be my mentor, sit in the chair and be my teacher until I'm ready, and then I will fulfill my duty without hesitation. And look at his clothing. He doesn't even know that he's already been transformed. And that's part of what Spirit wants to talk with you about. Don't doubt yourself. And this has been coming through for months now. This is what is meant in part when Spirit says, you are your purpose. Do not doubt yourself and the perfection of your being and the beauty of your soul. Of course we make mistakes. Of course we don't feel ready. It's okay. The spirit realm is here to guide us. Okay? So the older gentleman sat in the chair. The first thing he did was install the young man back into the chair. And he said, you've shown yourself to be ready and ethical and pure and well-intentioned. And it's okay that you don't know everything. That's what youth is for. It is a process. You do hold the wisdom necessary. And now you're going on a new journey. And I will be here to guide you. It's going to be okay. What a beautiful message. The very next card is a message that basically, from my perspective, okay, what Spirit is trying to tell us through this dialogue is that this is your place of strength. This is the strength card. In this deck, it's called the Empowerer of Will. It's about following the path of energy as a source of strength in order to become victorious. This is a sacred goddess of victory. The woman who's behind the mythology of this particular card in this deck was called Boudica, and you can go and look her up. She was a real person, and she led an insurrection against the Romans, and she won after they killed her family. So there's a lot of history about that. She rose to victory by following the pathway of the energy. She would bring a hare in a basket to the battlefield and open the basket and let the hare run out. And depending on how it ran across the battlefield, she made decisions about how to proceed, and she won. In the end, the Romans trapped her and killed her, of course. Spirit says it's not about that. It's about the strength to bring on your journey. That is where your strength is. The ability to be transformed. The willingness to be in dialogue about that. And to follow the energy of your own pathway in your life. It doesn't matter what you do or who you are, where you are, what religion you are. It doesn't matter. We are here as spirit beings walking in this human form for a purpose. Let's take a look at this next card, which I spoke about last month. This is the bridge that ties your soul journey to your human walk. Another dialogue card. This is the dialogue of skill. So we have the dialogue of battle, basically congratulating you and saying, all those battles you had, you made it. You have reached the point that was prophesied for you to be in this moment. And because you have reached this moment, you are transformed the way a caterpillar, emerges and transforms from the inside out. Through all kinds of crazy weather, it hangs in its cocoon. And when the moment comes, it emerges into its new form. That dialogue about the road that comes when you are in this new form leads into your place of strength and your soul transition. What's interesting to me about this is that's Merlin, for those of you that don't know. Merlin also lost his way. He went through a transformation many times in his life. when he, after many, many years of being a sacred wizard and all the things that we know about the mythology, he lost his way, became tired and overwhelmed. And he started to wander. And a good friend sought him out, went to find him, put his arm around him and said, "Hey, Merlin, I remember you. Do you remember who you are? Let's talk about that. It's time for you to come home and start again." That's a beautiful message from the spirit realm for us, for you, Scorpio, as a water sign. It's been here 2 months in a row. This beautiful sacred dialogue about remembering. And now it's in the place. Last month it was the outcome. Now it has transitioned to the other side of the reading. And it is this that connects your human walk to your spirit journey, to the efforts that your soul is engaging in. Really beautiful. So sitting above the augury of knowledge is this beautiful dialogue about the skill that you are going to develop and the skill that is being employed on the spirit realm in order to assist you. And what is really clear, starting this month, something truly has shifted, and I'm seeing it in every reading. If you have some curiosity, go look at some of the other readings. What is happening on the spirit realm is directly aligned with the human journey now. And I believe that is why Spirit's talking about emerging and evolving and weaving the pattern of energy and the yin and yang. So what Spirit is talking about this month is the experience of the yin and yang that flows between your soul and your human experience. So just look for a minute at the top row of cards and then look below at the bottom row of cards. Do you see how aligned they are in each place? It's really beautiful to me. The augury of knowledge on the spirit realm is reflected by the imaginer of harmony under the light of the full moon. And, for anybody who's a water sign to have this card come in the spirit realm, it's significant to me as a reader, as a channeler. The full moon is in a couple of days. It is the second full moon of March. There is an aperture, there is an opening, there is a portal, there's something magical happening, as if we haven't already had enough magic here in the month of March. Right? So this is the sacred vessel with golden oars. It can take you to any destination that you can imagine. And in this card, the destination, the imagination, brings us to a desire for harmony and peace and tranquility. And there you are, of course, diving deep as one could go, on the ocean of this type of energy. This is the moon card. It's feminine energy. Again, in a sense, a portal. And standing right next to that, standing above the dialogue, let me transition back one more time. All right, so check it out. Look at the dialogue of knowledge on the human realm. A young man takes up his place and begins to have, Spirit's saying the word tutelage. All right, so being a student, being a devotee, being in a youthful aspect, in order to be sitting, in a sense, at the feet of the master. Look at the card above on the spirit realm and the way that energy moves straight through the center of the reading, which is your aspect. Climbing up to this pinnacle, through this mentorship, on the spirit realm, your soul has come into a place of its next development because of the imagination of harmony. I mean, it's just astounding to me. That is the sacred initiate. Receiving the amulet, blindfolded, willing to submit to the shift and change of all that is mysterious. We see the spiral above his head. This is the dedicator of lore. Willing to jump into the mystery. And, in a sense, willing to, okay, here's what's coming through. Spirit's talking about being willing to engage in the destiny that is predetermined by the gods, that was prophesied last month when we saw the King of Art and the Goddess of Sovereignty, who makes a prophecy about the lineage going forward. And there you are. It's astounding to me how these are coming out. I know I always say that, but every month it just blows my mind. That's beautiful. Okay, so, and then of course, right next to that, again, the Perfecter of Energy. And I love that the Perfecter of Energy has come out 2 months in a row with very different cards attached to it, but helping you see what your journey is. So I'm going to toggle back to the cards for March so you can see. So this month you've arrived. You've taken this beautiful boat, right? In the light of the full moon, you journey into the next step, the next place of initiation, in order to perfect your energy. Last month, we had the Decider of Will and the High Priestess who stands at the gateway, and the place in which you were journeying, the place you were journeying into because of the Goddess of Sovereignty at the Bridge card and the remover of obstacles supporting her, of course, is into the realm of the perfection of energy. Startling in a way. And when you see this, look at the center column for a minute. That beautiful little mouse, the adventure of art, sitting next to the King of Art. And, being told the obstacles are clearing, you are going on an adventure. And as a result of that adventure, you are going to create the seeds of your own shift and change and growth. That is the spinner of growth. If you look above the little mouse, we see the judgment of art. So a lot of discussion about the art of transformation, the art of emerging and evolving from the inside out, inside your own cocoon, delivering you literally to the gateway. And it chokes me up a little bit. Right to the High Priestess, who stands there welcoming you for the process, the last step on the spirit realm, the process of perfecting your energy. And I love that the outcome was this dialogue. It's almost like now in retrospect, I look at it and I think, oh yeah, Spirit was saying, okay, we got to talk because there's something going on. Let's chat. And here we are in April. And the beautiful outcome card, so beautiful. That is the Queen of Knowledge. This is about the spirit realm looking directly at your transition through the Sacred Mother, arriving here in this transformed state with all the gifts you will need as you reach the pinnacle of this moment, and Spirit engages you in an initiation with a lot of support, a lot of dialogue all around the reading. The Queen of Knowledge is the energy on the spiritual realm, supporting the Sacred Mother, who brings you gifts. Her job is literally to weave the strings of destiny. And she looks directly at the core of the reading. I love that. I love this part of the card. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the colors. It's so mystically beautiful. The Queen of Knowledge, as the outcome card, I think is both a signification of the journey and giving you some assurance that it all is going to be well. The spirit realm is hard at work for your benefit. It also announces what will be coming next month. So stay tuned because she is here weaving the strings of your sacred destiny. Scorpio, have a wonderful month of April. Enjoy the change of seasons wherever you might be. And I will look forward to seeing you very eagerly in May. Please continue to share your thoughts, your dreams, your intuition. They're going to be deep this month. Anything that comes to you that you would like to share on the thread is very helpful for all of us. So I appreciate the comments, and I'll look forward to having some discussion with you. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to leave you with the cards.